Shat's back. Shat himself. William Shatner confirming he's in talks to revive Kirk. When is time up? If this doesn't beg that question, then what does? A 93-year-old man reprising a role he last formally played on the big screen 31 years ago, when he was arguably too old then. Technology exists to de-age and deep fake, so in principle we could keep doing this forever. Is that what we want for Star Trek? The show that proclaims to boldly go? Instead we're stuck in a decaying orbit around nostalgia, longing for the days when people knew how to write it properly, with only a few crumbs of aging and resurrected characters to remind us of better days. Star Trek was never about recycling its past, it's about carrying its vision forward. We need to stop digging up old characters for brand recognition and start resurrecting the principles that made Star Trek great in the first place. Look back to the writers and ideals, not the faces. Then with that foundation, we could move forward. Roddenberry believed in the human spirit, the drive to improve, explore, and cooperate beyond petty divisions. The Federation isn't just fiction, it's an aspiration, a challenge to be better. Alex Kurtzman is often criticised for saying Star Trek is a platform, but he's actually right. He's just too clueless to use it. Hiring writers who mistake pessimism and emotional outbursts for depth and convoluted nonsense for complexity, proving he understands neither Star Trek nor storytelling. Just look at Star Trek's 4, 5 and 6. Save the Whales was the message of the mid-80s, 5 was a riff on televangelism, and 6 was a near real-time take on the fall of the Soviet Union. The TV shows were regularly platforms for difficult issues, like TNG's episode The Drumhead, about how real security concerns can be twisted into paranoia and witch hunts, or Voyager's episode Living Witness about history being written by the victors, or the Enterprise episode Chosen Realm about religious fanaticism. I could go on. But the trick to being able to do these things is being honest and knowing properly what the opposing view is. A process called steelmanning, when you can summarise your opponent's view in a way that they would agree with. I doubt very well these people making Trek now even know their own positions well enough, let alone their opponents. Ironically, this is one of the issues of our day that I believe would make the basis for a great Trek story. How political indoctrination supported by media division is driving polarisation. We need to get some courage back and get honest about what the stories of our day actually are, and recognise that they're complex. Then we can present them that way in creative allegory like Star Trek. Star Trek is a very particular thing, a confident vision of humanity at its best. The characters became fan favourites because they were forged in the fire of that vision. They stood for something because the writers knew what upstanding character was. That's what it is to boldly go. You have to know what you stand for. Star Trek will continue to be adrift and lost until somebody gets back and bootstraps the project from core principles, instead of meekly pandering to an aging fan base through nostalgia. So do we stay this course, trapped in a gravity well of nostalgia, losing altitude, doomed to burn up on re-entry, or do we fire up the engines and break free? Remember, Star Trek is not a timeless story to be retold. It's an ongoing voyage into the human condition. It's not just ripe for reinvention, it demands it. But it takes vision, not nostalgia. The question is, who's bold enough? Enthusiasm, out.